I looked back basically into my childhood at what I liked to do, and as a kid I really did like photography, so I saved up, bought a camera and just jumped straight into it, and I think that's the best thing that you can do.
What do you think is your biggest accomplishment?
I think the one that really hit me the hardest was doing a shoot for a magazine, because I shot the cover and I shot the spread. Maybe not because of how big it is, because I have done bigger things, like Unknown Tea or even this Friday I've got the Tate Modern, but that one is the biggest for me because it meant a lot to me.
What is it like to be like a woman in that industry? Is it any different? Or
male photographers, they do get seen, they do get respected a lot more, they do get trusted a lot more with the vision. With female photographers it's a bit like, oh, do you know what you're doing?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here. My name is Ngozi and today I'm joined with
Myla.
So this is the first episode of the platform, which is what I'm starting, as you would see from the previous video. And today I've got Myla, who's my first person on this, and we're just going to ask her a few questions about her line of work. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Firstly, can you just give like a brief introduction to yourself, like what you study, what you do and everything?
Hi guys, I'm Myla. I'm a photographer, so you might know me as Mylasvisuals, but I also am a psychology student. I also work part-time from home, but other than that, that's my life really.
Okay, so should we tell them how we met, like briefly?
Yeah.
So I met her at uni. I was in Birmingham for masters, just 1 year in UAB, and yeah, that's basically it, right?
Yeah. We met at a party.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah,
you
did. Yeah. The first question I wanted to ask, like, how did you actually get into photography? Like, if you could give us like a step by step, or you remember how you got into it.
So for me, I just felt like there was a void in my life, and I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have anything that like when people would ask me what I'm into, I really wouldn't know what to say. And when I was thinking about my future, I had no idea what I wanted to go into. So I basically, one day when I just felt like I just needed to change, I needed to do something, I looked back basically into my childhood at what I liked to do, and as a kid I really did like photography, but I didn't do it seriously. I didn't do it at school. I just liked the concept. So I saved up, bought a camera and just basically just jumped straight into it, and I think that's the best thing that you can do. Even if you're not trying to do it professionally, like just starting something, starting from nowhere, even if it's like an expensive camera. I got my camera from eBay, and just going straight into it, that's what I did. And I just started shooting my friends, and then it just ended up bigger and bigger.
Okay, so when did you feel like, because obviously you said you saved up for the camera, it must have been like a lot of discipline to be even able to do that and stuff. And then when you actually started doing photography, when did you feel like, you know what, like I made the right decision, that kind of thing?
I think for me, so I was doing a shoot, and it was with this girl that had messaged me online. She was like, you're trying to build your portfolio, I'm trying to build mine, let's work together. So we worked together, and she told me to make a TikTok. And so I was like, why? She was like, make a TikTok, this TikTok is like the best platform. And when I made the TikTok and my work actually blew up on there, that's when I realized, okay, cool, maybe I do have a bit of talent, maybe this can go somewhere, because it really did blow up so quickly. And I don't think it's one of those things that would have done if I didn't have something there.
That makes sense. And also obviously you're a student and you're just in second year now, right? So how would you say you actually juggle photography and uni? How do you balance that life together?
It is quite difficult, because I started photography towards the second half of first year. So I was trying to juggle exams, I was trying to juggle work, I was trying to juggle a social life, and it was quite difficult at first because my uni is in another city to where I do photography, which is in London. But what I would say is just trying to fit it. I tried to fit it in wherever I could. I looked at my schedule and then I planned around it. And then when I would have weeks off for holidays, I would just spend that shooting completely, like just going ham. So I feel like that's what I kind of did. I just kind of prioritized what I needed to prioritize and worked around it.
Is it difficult to balance it, would you say, or do you feel like you're something you're still learning to do, or do you feel like you have the hang of it?
I feel like I'm still learning, especially now that I'm going into second year, because obviously the workload is bigger, and you have to focus on uni a bit more, but then you don't want to lose like photography, so still getting the hang of it. I definitely think it's one of the hardest parts, especially if you're not doing it full time.
And also you said you feel like, because it's different cities, because obviously you do photography mainly in London and you study in Birmingham, do you feel like you like that it's separated, or do you want to incorporate it so that you can still do photography in Birmingham, or do you like that difference?
I think with me, because I go to uni in Birmingham isn't really the best city for photography. The best city is London, because everyone's here, the connections here. When people call me to do shoots, it's in London. So a part of me does wish I went to uni in London, so that it would be so much easier for me to balance it. I did have a few shoots in Birmingham, but compared to London, it's not the same at all. So I think it's harder because it is different cities. Yeah,
that makes sense. But do you kind of like that though? Because in Birmingham, you could obviously focus on like uni and life and like social life, and then you know that London is for work. Is that kind of like a blessing in disguise, or not really?
I feel like it can be. But for me, I do notice that when it's been a while since I've been creative, since I've done shoots, I'll like go to London and then Birmingham will not see me for like ages. And I feel like that can be a problem because it's like social life and photography life can't mix, because it's either one or the other that I need. You know?
And also, obviously, you mentioned that you study psychology, and I obviously I know from speaking to you, and I've also seen your TikToks where you talk about how like obviously the myth of like you have to study photography, like you don't believe in that myth and stuff. But obviously, I could suppose you have other friends who are photographers as well. But when you're like in a group of people who are in your industry, do you feel any like, I don't know how to word it, like the fact that you're doing the photography, do you feel like that is sometimes difficult to say? Like, do you feel like people take you as seriously because you didn't do photography, or do you feel like people like the fact that you've proved that you don't have to do photography and be a photographer? Like, how does it make you feel, the fact that you didn't actually have a background in photography?
You know, at first I did feel unqualified. I did feel like an imposter. I was like, I haven't even learned about any of this stuff, and I just taught it all myself. But speaking to more people, not just photographers but other creatives in the industry, I realized that some of the top creatives haven't done a degree in that subject. And it's like, even look at artists, you know, you're not gonna like, they might have done art at school, but they had the talent there in the first place.
Exactly.
And often I've spoken to other photographers who have done a course in it, and they actually find that it limits their creativity because you have to fit a brief. Whereas when you're just doing it freelance, you're coming up with your own ideas, and if you're really pushing for it, then you're pushing for it because you love it, not because you have a course to do, not because you have deadlines. It would be useful for me to have done it, because there was a lot of stuff I had to just learn on my own. I didn't know camera settings, I didn't know how to work a flash. But there's also a lot of stuff that you can't learn on a course, like how important it is to bring spare batteries, how to creative direct a shoot. Like, you can't learn that on a degree. So I think it's each their own. Some people would want to do it, and I don't think I would have minded, but at the same time I don't feel too disadvantaged. Not doing it.
That's good. But would you, obviously, like when you finish uni and stuff and you're studying photography, would you ever go back to do some form of like course on it, or would you feel like you just want to carry on doing freelance and stuff? Like, do you feel like you even need that like academic knowledge for photography?
I feel like for me, what I wanted to do was to go and do like a master's or a course in directing or like videography, because I don't know how to do that, and I don't think I struggled to teach myself that. But with photography, I don't think so, and it's just adding on to the knowledge that I don't have access to, then
that makes sense. And also, obviously, I can tell that you are passionate about photography and you love your job, hence you do it and stuff. But what would be the best and worst job of being a photographer, or what you've experienced, the best and the worst?
So like my best and worst experiences. So there's some pet peeves that I do have and that I experience a lot. So obviously you've got people that are late, you have people that are rude, and probably my worst experience has been rude clients, because obviously there's this, when you're working freelance, there's this disparity between being professional and like having respect for yourself to like not allow people to treat you a certain way. And I feel like when you're a creative, people do lack a certain respect for you, that they like, you wouldn't be late to like a makeup appointment, or maybe like you wouldn't be late to uni
Yeah.
or something, but you might be late to a photography session because it's not the same or something. It's a bit annoying. But best is definitely all the people I've met. Some of the people that I've met, we're like good friends now, like we've gone out for drinks, and I don't know, I feel like there's always that duality between good and bad with everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Editing takes long, but then you love the vision at the end. So I'm grateful for all of it, to be honest.
What is, like, so far in the time you've been doing photography, what has been like your what do you think is your biggest accomplishment or accomplishments so far?
I think the one that really hit me the hardest was doing a shoot for a magazine, because I shot the cover and I shot the spread, and I think that was the moment that hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is huge, because it was something I never ever expected myself to do, especially so soon. So I think that would be my biggest accomplishment, maybe not because of how big it is, because I have done bigger things, like Unknown Tea or even this Friday I've got the Tate Modern, but that one is the biggest for me because it meant a lot to me.
Have you ever had like a really bad shoot day experience? Like, do you have any, like, I don't know, stories from, like, I don't know, have you ever had like a horror shoot day experience or something?
Yeah, so I actually had a shoot for a basketball game with celebrities, and that day was the most chaotic day because I forgot my spare batteries. I was just in a really bad mood, and I didn't have the right lens. For sports and events, you need like an 85mm lens, which can get a bit closer, but I had one that was like 35mm, so when people were shooting I couldn't get as close as I wanted to. And also I was given a VIP like event necklace, and when all the photographers got to go backstage, I was in the bathroom, so I missed that. It was just a mess. It was awful, but in the end the photos came out great, so I don't know how I pulled it off. Towards the end, I saw one of these celebrities that I liked. She's like an influencer. I saw her and I was like, oh, can I take a picture of you? And then I got a picture of her and I was like, okay, it was a bad day, but I got a picture of her, so it's fine.
No, that's good.
But yeah, that was it.
And also, obviously, like, I don't know much about the photography industry and stuff, but is it like male dominated or not? Like, how do you, what is it like to be like a woman in that industry? Is it any different, or are there any struggles? Like, what is,
I feel like when you show up to an event, especially as a female photographer, a lot of people, I don't know, like, I feel like when I've worked with male photographers, they do get seen, they do get respected a lot more, they do get trusted a lot more with the vision. With female photographers, it's a bit like, oh, do you know what you're doing? But for the most part, I think in the creative sector of like jobs and stuff, people are quite respectful to female creatives, which is really good. There's not much competition either, like not even just between men and women, but between other creatives. Like everyone's quite trying to bring everyone up, trying to support everyone. So I think it's actually quite a good industry. Would
you say it's quite healthy?
I do, because especially if you're trying to reach out to other photographers to I don't know, get advice or to shadow them, it's really easy. Everyone's so helpful, and it's really nice to see it. Honestly, it's better than I thought it would be.
And also, what is your advice for any upcoming photographers, people who are yet to start, who like they want to but they haven't began, and people who just began? What would you say to them?
So my practical advice is to build a platform. So this social media is your best advertising place because it's free and you can reach loads of people at once. Just put your work out there, just like make a TikTok and make random videos about what you love, and it will reach someone and it will get big. Like, you just have to keep trying and throw and see what hits. Another advice that I would give is to, like, for example, if you're a photographer, just keep shooting and keep making content, even if you're making it for free. Obviously don't get exploited and don't like do big events or shoot big shoots for long hours for free, but come up with your own ideas, reach out to people you want to shoot with so that you can build a portfolio. So once you have a portfolio, it becomes a lot easier. So keep practicing, and also network is the best thing. If you're trying to get into any type of industry, networking is probably the thing that is between success and failure. So if you're trying to get into music, like music photography, reach out to music photographers or people who sing or anything like that. Reach out to them, offer them a shoot, see how it goes. Or even if you want to do like commercial photography, reach out to brands. It's genuinely all about just making the right connections and putting yourself out there, because that's exactly what I did and it worked for me. So that's the best advice I can give.
My last question, what's next for Mylasvisuals?
Honestly, I have so much planned and I've got so much coming. I think that I started so small and I grew so quickly that I just want to enhance my craft. I want to get better at what I'm doing. I want to meet more people, and I think you guys will love what's coming.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. At least make them, you know, curious.
Curious,
slow.
mysterious.
But that's the end of the questions, Myla. Thanks for doing this video with me.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to ask any questions that, you know, Myla will be able to answer in the comment section. But yeah, let me know guys what you think of this video, and see you next week. Bye.